Circus Baby, one of FNAF's biggest fumbles in the series, what was once a villain in the making, with an interesting backstory, quickly turned into a joke of her former self, going from being a sympathetic, tortured, manipulative, cold and calculated character with a grudge, to an obeying, father-worshipping sidekick, that only wants to please her father. Someone who once was so great, is now just another side character, in order for William Afton, the Bunny Man, to take the spotlight again. In this video, I'll be talking about Baby's character, her appearances, her fall, and her possible return in the series. Appearing after FNAF's fourth game, Circus Baby's first appearance was in FNAF World's Halloween update, where a man at a desk, originally assumed to be Henry, reveals that he's created something horrible named Baby. The room then goes dark, and a pair of eyes appear. We then hear a voice telling everyone to remain in their seats, and that the show will begin momentarily. The lights then come back on, and Desk Man is dead. It wasn't too long until Baby made her official debut in the next game, Sister Location, where the franchise would take a major turn in direction, going from haunted pizzerias with Chuck E. Cheese-looking animatronic designs, to a sci-fi experiment chamber with shiny, chrome, futuristic robots, something that would change the franchise as a whole with later things to come. Taking a very different direction from what we're used to in FNAF, Sister Location instead focused on building up the Afton family, and introducing characters like Michael and Elizabeth Afton, while leaning more into the sci-fi aspect of FNAF. Instead of taking place inside a pizzeria, Sister Location takes place in a location called Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals, and introduces us to the Funtime animatronics like Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora the Ballerina, and Circus Baby. Despite hearing her name, and seeing her pictures on the walls, Baby doesn't make her presence known to us until the second night, and we don't even see her until the fifth night. Baby's personality when we meet her, is shown to be helpful and friendly towards our protagonist, helping us survive her bandmates throughout the nights we spend, all while talking to us in soft-spoken conversations, and seemingly has ascensions higher than any of the other animatronics we've seen. On night 3, Baby tells the story of the day she accidentally killed a child at a birthday party, talking about it with innocence, and a lack of understanding. We later find out that this is not the case. The child that Baby killed, is one of the most important, Elizabeth Afton, the daughter of William Afton himself. Let me explain. See, what happened was William told Elizabeth not to go near Baby, but one day at a party while William was distracted, Elizabeth approached Baby alone, and Baby's stomach opened, luring her with ice cream, and when Elizabeth got close enough, she grabbed her with a hidden claw, and dragged her within her stomach hatch, ending her life. This seemingly suggests that Baby is possessed by Elizabeth, but it's important to note that up until this time, Baby has talked about Elizabeth like she's a separate person, saying that she still hears her sometimes, that something bad is inside of her, presumably Elizabeth. More on that later. Baby does sound remorseful from this encounter, but after going through the night as planned, we're met with an unexpected jump scare that ends the night abruptly, but starts the beginning of night 4, where we meet the real Baby for the first time. We're trapped inside a suit, where Baby speaks to us, and reveals that she's kidnapped us. Her voice is more sinister, and not as friendly as before. She's snide, and mocking towards Ballora as she's scooped in front of us, and we learn one of the most important things about Baby, her ability to pretend, in order to get what she wants. It's revealed that she's been pretending this entire time, putting on an act of being kind and helpless, now showing her true colors and personality. As by night 5, we see what her true intentions are. During the 5th night, Baby gaslights the player into going into parts and service, having us do a few manual tasks, and sending her to the scooping room, because she's quote-unquote, broken and can't be fixed, needing us to help her in the long run. Unfortunately, this turns out to be a trap, as we ourselves end up in the scooping room, where Baby, along with her bandmates, have fused themselves into an amalgamation of their endos called Enid, and explain their plan of using us as a bodysuit in order to escape this place, and live free among the humans. They do in the end succeed in their plan, scooping, and using us to escape Afton Robotics, until dumping the body after a few days, once it rots. Baby later gets dumped by her band, and voted out of the Enid tribe, leading to the Enid tribe being controlled by Funtime Freddy, and Baby becoming Scrap Baby in FNAF 6. This character, who was once tortured by a company, bitter and angry towards the people responsible for her pain, and who was just looking for a means to escape a situation she had no control over by any means necessary, she has returned, with a vendetta, and the first thing she wants to do is to make her father proud. Suddenly she is Elizabeth, and is no longer treated as a separate personality. Her anger towards William is no longer there, and her entire personality is gone. Now instead of wanting revenge, all she wants to do is follow his orders mindlessly. Her anger, her motive, and everything else that made her cool, is now completely erased, going from cool to cliché in a heartbeat. She's no longer a character, and is now just an obstacle for us to survive. By the end of the game, she gives a whole villain speech about how great William is, and how she'll make him proud, before getting interrupted by Henry, and burns, along with everyone else, in the FNAF 6 fire, destroying her in the process. But it's not the end for her there. Baby later makes her appearances in Ultimate Custom Night, both as Circus and Scrap Baby, Help Wanted, as a threat to hide from in one of the minigames, Plush Baby in another one of the minigames, FNAF AR, where she got 2 cool-looking skins, and technically in 2 book series, The Fourth Closet, and Fazbear Frights. Let's start with The Fourth Closet. While she is still possessed by Elizabeth, Baby isn't Elizabeth. Let me explain. Baby in this story is actually a robot of the main character Charlie Emily, an adult version, Charlie Bot, that was imbued with the rage and agony of her father Henry. She was then later stolen by William Afton, who then transformed it into becoming the iconic Circus Baby. Baby sorta plays the role of a sidekick and a villain, and does things like appeasing William, and carrying out his bidding just for his approval, as well as many other things, all in the name to just spite Charlie and hurt her loved ones. She's literally just supposed to be evil Charlie, for the sake of it, and the ending has nothing really to do with her, or even has a payoff at all, but I digress. Onto Fazbear Frights, where Baby isn't even Baby here at all either. Instead she's actually an agony-fueled creature that just wants to hurt people, although she has some aspects of Baby like being manipulative, using people's bodies to disguise herself in public, and even kinda looking like her. That's it really. She has no other connections to Baby or Elizabeth whatsoever, and just wants more agony and remnant, to become more powerful or whatever, so that she can cause more pain, and suffering for others in the end, because she's evil, which is pretty lame. Anyway, that's basically the story of Baby, going from being cool, to cliché, to a sidekick, to finally a completely different character with no purpose whatsoever, and a former shell of herself. But what if I told you that wasn't the end, that there's a possible way for her to return, more interesting and better than ever? See, there's one thing I didn't mention. One of the tasks Baby has us do in Sister Location, is put in a code in order to retrieve what is good from her, before sending her to the scooping room. This turns out to be a computer chip that possibly holds a part of Baby, or at least she says that. Anyway, after we take it, it's never brought up again in any of the other games, forgotten, but I think it plays a bigger role than we think. Let me explain. See, what has always bothered me about Baby is that in Sister Location she talks like she's her own person, and acts like Elizabeth is completely separate, but then in Pizza Sim, she talks like she is Elizabeth, and acts like she's William's daughter, but only using Baby's voice. So why the sudden switch? Unless it's not a switch, maybe Baby is gone. What if that chip we took separated the two, leaving Elizabeth to take over, kill her brother Michael, and become Scrap Baby in Pizza Sim? And as for the real Baby, well, I think she may be the series' new villain, the Mimic. What if that chip is one of the circuit boards that was used to create FNAF VR as well as AR? Fazbear Entertainment used circuit boards they found to create VR and AR, which led to the creation of Glitch Trap. But what if it created the Mimic virus too, and it tethered itself to Glitch Trap? That's why Glitch Trap can mimic Tape Girl's voice, just like Baby mimicked Elizabeth's voice in Sister Location. It wants to be set free, and it does exactly that by mimicking Gregory's voice to lure Cassie in ruin. Maybe we'll get more backstory of the Mimic in Help Wanted too, or maybe not. But anyway, that's just my theory. With that, another video, and another mystery solved. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you again, in whatever my next project ends up being.